Doubt over Dolton's research. Chicago's previous mayor, Tiffany Henyard, was the Dolton mayor on Thursday night. Authorities revealed the shocking way that public cash were used.
More drama in Dolton. Credit card transactions amounting to thousands of dollars without explanation, and millions more owed to vendors.
A bombshell report highlights just how much financial trouble the village of Dolton is really in.
Trustees say the village is facing financial disaster, and they blame the mayor for mismanagement. She says this is all just political retribution.
No response to repeated interview requests. I tried to track down Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard in person today. Village employees told me she wasn't in the office.
Although everyone was aware of how bad things were, they weren't ready for how much worse Lori Lightfoot made them appear. Tiffany Henyard seems to have pledged, given their current multi-million-dollar debt, to ensure that the Dolton and Thornton Township banks are empty by the time she leaves office. Let's look back a few weeks to determine the specific events that occurred. The locals have been asking Tiffany Henyard to resign for years, but nothing has happened. Everything came to a climax when the FBI announced that Henyard was the focus of an investigation. Henyard has faced several accusations of corruption and partiality over the years, but she has not seemed to care.
Learned from multiple sources that federal agents are in fact interviewing witnesses as part of a possible investigation that may or may not result in charges.
This was due to the fact that she had received complaints from a large number of people, including company owners. Their enterprises were closed because they declined to endorse the political activities in Henyard.
Coincidence or retaliation? Both of the Dolton bars that were raided and shut down last night, we visited the day before as part of our ongoing investigation into allegations of political corruption in Dolton.
They just rushed in here, put police at the front of the door like they was doing a raid on the drug house or something.
A team of Dolton police officers raided and shut down Pablo's Bar and Cafe and Rinky's Bar and Cafe, both located on Sibley, about a block apart.
Everything going peacefully, nothing going on. It's like 10 police cars came in and they start pushing customers from here. And he said, if you don't leave, we're gonna lock you up.
Employees and owners say it's part of an ongoing campaign of harassment by Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard that is costing jobs and money. Their business licenses have been stripped by Dolton, but they've continued to operate with a state license.
Proceed. A few months later, Lori Lightfoot, a former Chicago mayor, was tasked with investigating Henyard's corrupt. Naturally, procedures Henyard first did everything in his power to oppose, holding the local trustees responsible for the village's debt.
Creating chaos.
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard at the helm.
The village held its first formal meeting under the direction of Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton, following the trustees' resolution last month requiring her to give over the mayor notes a $2 million gap in the municipality's financial records. But the trustees maintain there are millions more. She has requested that the FBI investigate her suspected misappropriation of local funds.
Embarrassing, she tried to veto the FBI investigation. Her veto was soon overridden by a majority vote from the Board of Trustees.
Monday night, the mayor vetoed their resolution.
The veto message is related to the secret squirrel means, yes, that
The trustees vowed to reject her. One of them, Chiana Bennett, is sitting at the meeting with her portrait in her hands because she says it was removed from the village hall wall and that this is just a procedure to move it along, but everyone can see what's happening. Though the media was relegated to the very back of the room during tonight's meeting as part of Henyard leadership's crackdown on access, the village residents' opinions were loud and clear.
To us as residents, you do not stand for me, and I want you to step down as mayor today and save our village from this deficit that you have caused.
The mayor can blame everybody for what's going on, but she has to look at herself. Nobody told her to get on TV and lie like that.
Everybody cares about the person that's making the...
Henry delegating tasks to others, however.
Thing as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting, I do not handle it.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that? You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
You're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your question.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded.
We can't dance together at this time, at this moment. This is going to be Black History Month, right? Y'all all say Martin Luther King had a dream, but guess what? I am the dream.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. Black History Month. Of course I'm going to give away $1 million to help you pay your mortgage and your rent. Of course I am. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people? Showing them that they matter to us? We going through the fires for y'all. It's Black History Month. As the first African-American female mayor of Dolton, of course I'm misunderstood. Y'all should be ashamed of y'all. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power.
Tiffany has continuously maintained her innocence while refuting claims that she is anti-black or anti-feminine, even as she has previously declined to do so. Respond to any questions regarding her now famous trip to Las Vegas, where she squandered thousands of taxpayer cash on hotels, restaurants, and travel. Interview 517/648. Neighbors in Dolton and Thornton were equally taken aback by Lori Lightfoot's initial report, which featured a presentation that was met with audible gasps. There hasn't been an audit or annual report since 2012. Daily operations of the general fund are losing money as a result of a 21% increase in police department expenses to $3.65 million. By June 18th, 589 checks totaling over $6 million have been approved but not yet distributed to vendors. Purchases made on 6 different credit cards, including a $4,000 payment to Amazon, were under investigation, and 2 police officers were receiving overtime compensation in excess of their regular salary.
But what I can assure you is the information that we share, that we're putting our names on, is drawn directly from the financial records of this village.
I knew we were broke, and the way she broke it down and just let the other residents hear what was really going on, because Tiffany Henyard always talk about fake news, and this is...
Following the report after it was discovered that Tiffany Henyard had placed without addressing any more embezzlements, the general fund alone is in millions of debts. Press outlets tried to get in contact.
The village's credit card spending is out of control. Mayor Tiffany Henyard didn't respond to any of my requests today, and I'm told she's not in the building.
There was no response to repeated requests for interviews. I tried to get together with Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton. Although they didn't say when she would return, the village staff told me that she wasn't at the office today. Interview 836/841. The trustees also used the results to show that Tiffany Henyard was not a person for the common man, and that their money was used to support her ostentatious lifestyle.
$40,000 at Amazon. What a slap in the face to everybody that reside in 60419 zip code.
I know how I felt when I started seeing these numbers, so I can imagine how all of you are feeling after all this time being in the dark. There are a number of other things we know, but we aren't ready yet. We got to verify in 20 ways from Sunday.
Here is proof for everyone to see, and even the ones who doubt us. If you don't see through this, there's nothing I can say to you. February of 2025, clean house.
Tiffany, however, has taken safety measures to protect herself from any inquiry, such as having her attorneys for criminal defense watch. Meetings of boards, Given that she fired her senior assistant Keith Freeman, it seems that the two have taken his position.
I want you to prove it. Because, like I said, fact versus fiction.
So you got us into this mess, and now we're trying to salvage what we can to get out.
Sitting at the mayor's side in a place usually reserved for the village attorneys, two unfamiliar faces. This is Chicago Federal Criminal Defense Attorney Beau Brindley, along with his law partner Ed McDavid. The website for Brindley's law firm says, "Results matter, aggressive criminal defense." The two criminal lawyers sat next to Henyard the entire meeting and even went into the board's closed executive session. Henyard is at the center of an ongoing FBI corruption investigation.
I didn't know them. A lot of my board members, they didn't know them either. We didn't know who they were.
With one of them claiming that Henyard was a rookie mayor who solely followed the law, Freeman's two attorneys seem set to use her as a foil for all of her illegal deeds. It's odd that she counseled the SAC trustee to follow Freeman's instructions when she was herself a trustee for Dolton Village. Henyard is, of course, the same woman who insisted on handling everything while trustees threw away money trying to look into her. Louis Lacey, the deputy chief of police, to a new position of greater responsibility. After Louis Lacey, the deputy police chief, was fired last week due to his disruptive behavior, Tiffany Henderson was reappointed by the Dolton Village Board. According to the trustees of the police chief, this appointment is illegal. Lacey was accused of filing for federal bankruptcy through fraud on Thursday afternoon. As part of a scheme to hide assets and income from creditors, Lacey is accused of lying under oath.
The past 2 years mean that people have started taking action against her. One move was to freeze the allocation of $135,000 that they'd usually receive.
This happened during their first meeting when she tried to brush Freeman off.
Started turning more of her supporters against her, with one whistleblower emerging from the Thornton Board of Trustees.
Until recently, Henyard enjoyed near unanimous support on the Thornton Township Board, but now trustee Carmen Carlisle says after trusting Henyard and remaining silent, she will be a whistleblower against Henyard. Carlisle released a statement to WGN that reads in part, "For the past 2 years, Henyard has manipulated employees, vendors, and residents using her position to increase her influence, all while projecting a false image of success funded by the hardworking taxpayers of Thornton Township and the village of Dolton. Henyard shows no accountability or conscience for her actions against employees or taxpayers."
Her actions have probably had an impact on others because she hasn't submitted any financial reports in the last 2 years. Frozen the $135,000 they were supposed to get from unpaid fines and traffic infractions when they originally started going after her.
Appointed a new top aide to a $100,000 a year job without board consent. 34-year-old Michael A. Smith, who's been active in South suburban politics for years.
The reason for Mike is he have a wealth of great information. He's a young person and ex-politician. He knows the laws like the back of his hand.
Perhaps that's because Smith has been in and out.
Henyard's actions, meantime, have started to alienate more of her supporters. From the whistleblower Thornton Board of Trustees, things are still heated in Dolton, and Tiffany's is still up to no good. Her controversial appointment to the village administrator served as the most recent evidence of a worse truth. Will the music finally be confronted, or will the people of Henyard suffer even more? We'll have to watch and find out. That's all I have to say for now. Don't forget to share your opinions in the comment section below so that we can offer more updates. Select the bell icon.